Good evening and thank you all for joining us today. Before beginning our webinar today, I'll share a sad news with you. Uh, it is never easy to lose a loved one, and it is especially difficult to lose a father. Our speaker, Advocate Prashant Mali, lost his father. Please accept our deepest condolences to you, Prashant ji, and to your family during these testing times. Now coming back to the webinar, which has been organized by Moneylife Foundation. Moneylife Foundation is a 10-year-old NGO, and our primary goal in the foundation is to spread financial literacy and to help address a wide spectrum of issues that impact us as consumers. Allow me to take this opportunity to thank our esteemed speaker, Advocate Prashant Mali, for taking time to join us today. Online crimes and phishing incidents are on the rise, especially in the post-pandemic world where new users of the internet are becoming very easy targets. With calls from strangers asking you to share your bank account details to crimes on social media platforms claiming you have won gift vouchers or gifts, fraudsters are getting smarter and using technology to their own advantage. Today, we are very glad to have with us Advocate Mali to help us understand the issue and what are the legal provisions to get justice from all these frauds and crimes. Before inviting our speaker, I would like to chart our six ground rules to all of us to follow for this webinar. We have kept you on mute and will unmute you when you want to ask a question during the Q&A session. For optimal viewing, we request you to keep the webinar on speaker view mode. This meeting is being recorded and would be uploaded on our YouTube channel, youtube.com/moneylifetv, so you can watch this again. During the question and answer session, we request you to raise the hand button available on Zoom if you wish to ask any questions. Also, please feel free to use the chat feature on Zoom to share your comments, questions, and observations. But my sincere request would be to send the message to everyone. Also, request you to not to send us personal messages during the session, as we would not be able to monitor or respond. One last thing, please note your homes and backgrounds are visible to all of us during this webinar. So in case you want to if you wish to protect your privacy, I would request you to stop the video button on Zoom. Now let me introduce our speaker for today. One of India's leading cyber and privacy policy thought leader, Advocate Mali had over 20 years of experience. He is India's leading cybercrime security lawyer and also a shining follow. He has been awarded as Best Cyber Security Lawyer in 2017 and the National Cyber Defense Award in 2019. Advocate Mali has published over 8 books on cyber law, cyber crimes, privacy, and GDPR, and authored various research papers in international journals, and he regularly contributes to several leading publications as well. We would not think of anyone better suited to help us understand more about this issue. Without taking too much of your time, may I now request Advocate Mali to please take over. Sir, over to you.
Thank you very much for organizing this webinar on phishing and various cyber crimes which are happening right now in the cyberspace. Phishing is a word which has become very common with every single netizen. That's because the amount of phishing which is happening, or the phishing related crimes which are happening, rather phishing word itself has become old. New words like wishing, smishing, spear phishing, these words have been developed. Now, just to understand phishing very in a simplified way, I know people know phishing, that's why you are here to listen. But just to a couple of minutes here, see, phishing, word phishing, which starts from P, has originated from word F, that's actual phishing. Now, in phishing, actual phishing, which starts with F, what do you have? You have a hook, and then there is a bet, and then you catch fish. Exactly same thing happens in this cyber world phishing also. There is a hook, there is a bet, and you are the fish. What is the hook? Hook is the SMS. Hook is the WhatsApp message. Hook is the call which you get, luring you. And what is the bet? Bet is the lottery. Bet is the free COVID vaccine. Bet is the anything, whatever the news which is being floating around around in the cyberspace. Now today's bets could be anything related to this farming protest which is happening, anything related to COVID vaccine because people are wanting it, anything related to jobs because there are many jobless people, and evergreen things are you get message from RBI, you get message for refund of your income tax. These are evergreen message, you can anytime get it. You get lottery messages that you have won this, or any such rosy messages which coupled with your greed leads to incident of phishing. Now when I say greed, I'm little more direct. I could also say your unawareness leads to incidents of phishing. But people who are victims of phishing, they also know that there was always a greed component over there, because you are always lured to it, because there is a bet there. Without a bet, you will not be lured into phishing. So anyways, so phishing, now I want to bring this because the word phishing is being used in this web series called Jamatra or Jamtara, and but what actually happens in the web series, the writers had also come to me, and I was telling them that this is wrongly propagated. What you are showing is wishing. Wishing is phishing via phone call, or it is also called social engineering. What happens there in Jamtara is majorly phishing. They use telephone calls to and they take you as bait. They will talk nicely. Those sweet words talk to you, lead to you revealing your PIN number, passwords, bank details, etc. That is phishing. When voice-based phishing. That's why it's called phishing. So, and the other is obviously smishing. Smishing is phishing via SMS, SMS phishing, SMS-based phishing. So, majority of the clients, what I see, or I would say victims which come to me, are majoritarily SMS victims. And when you look at senior people, age-old people, they are more, and females, they are lured via phishing, that is voice-based phishing. So there is always category of which kind of people get lured by which kind of bait when it comes to phishing. And how much do we lose via phishing? Crores of rupees. India must have lost more than thousands of crores of rupees via this only crime called phishing. Now, I want to share an anecdote with you, which I keep sharing all the time in various platforms. Just imagine that there is a theft in your gully, in the mohalla, in the nukkad where you stay, or in the society where you stay. What is the theft? The theft is from someone's house, a 50-inch LCD or LED panel is stolen. So what is it? Theft of television. You would immediately see next day there will be a police car down, there will be a police gypsy downstairs. After sometimes a dog squad will come, and there, who Allah, what happened? Theft happened. Now, what is the price of this television of 50-inch? At today's rate, if you go 50-inch new TV is around 40,000. This was an old TV, so it may be around 10,000-15,000. But for this 10,000-15,000, the whole government machinery, the whole police machinery is working hard, because it is a 379 IPC 379 crime. And there is a neighbor in the same society, in the same mohalla, in the same nukkad, who has lost 2 lakh rupees because of phishing scam. Police are not even looking at his complaint. Forget taking his complaint and registering an FIR. In fact, I'll go further. Some police will find out an SMS on their phone, and they will show to the victims. See this, I also get these messages. I also lost this money. So what we can do? We keep losing money. You be careful. Now, these are the comments which victims keep on facing from police machinery. That's the sorry state of affairs today. Maharashtra, let me tell you, since we are this is being relayed from Maharashtra, and rather this website is open for all. That is called reportphishing.in. I repeat, it is called reportphishing.in. It's a Maharashtra cyber initiative. If you get certain SMSs, certain voiced calls, certain emails or WhatsApp messages which lured you to phishing, or or you are known ones to phishing, you can report that URL, that link on this website. This is, they have started this reportphishing.in, but that doesn't amount to an FIR or a police complaint. Please note that point very carefully. It only amounts to reporting it, so others are not at loss. So phishing is become such a wide crime. As a result of phishing, you can lose your Twitter passwords. You can lose, everybody. It's not only people who don't know about computers, they fall a prey to it. I get clients all the time who are intelligent, who are experienced, who have conducted such kind of seminars. Just believe, they were organizers of such kind of seminars, webinars, and they themselves get lured into such kind of fraud. And the fraud array has increased. Now I'm handling a case now. It's the fraud has gone to Bitcoin world. People have lost Bitcoin because of phishing scams. Now, what is the modus operandi? Just note it. And via phishing, what all can happen? I can send you a simple message on your email with, I just, as I told you, as a bet and a link, and then I can actually hack your complete phone. That means I send you SMS as a link. You click on that link, a file may get downloaded on your phone, which you will not know that a file has got downloaded. But the moment the file gets downloaded, your mobile becomes a server, I become a client. Whatever details you have on your mobile phone, I am accessing it remotely. It's so simple as this. So what is the takeaway today? Takeaway is, if you are not expecting any SMSs, don't open SMSs. If you open the SMSs, kill your curious cat out of your mind. Don't click on those links. Every link, mistrust it. Don't trust it. Keep zero trust. That's the new game today in security. Have zero trust on whatever comes to you. When you start objecting things coming to you for free without asking, then only you will be secure. The cyber security culture has to be developed in your brain. It has to come into your body, your behavior. It has to become your attitude. In this world, then only you can remain protected, or else anybody can get lured. And second most important thing, don't click on SMSs and links when you are drunk, inebriated stage, you are sad, mistakes can happen. I'll give you my example. Forget other examples. Today is my example. I was paying maintenance of my some flat which I've not been to for 8-9 years, and I paid the maintenance. It was pending. I paid 26,900 today, and I never saw what account was added. I just took a printout. I took the screenshot, sent it to the secretary of that building, and said I have paid. And he called me. And he fired me literally. He said, "You never saw which account you paid." I said, "No." And I'm telling him, I saw it was some Punjab bank. He said, "It is not Punjab bank. It is Punjab and Maharashtra Cooperative Bank, which is defunct. You have paid to a defunct account." Now see why this happened? Because today I was in stress. Things were not going well, and I ended up in paying to a society account where incoming is on to a Punjab Maharashtra bank. My money is stuck. Okay, I paid them again to a different bank account. But what I'm trying to get to it is, when you are in stress, when you're not okay, avoid banking, avoid clicking anything which is related to SMS, phishing, digital wallets, accounting. You can have simple rules like, once you're drunk, don't do any banking. After 8 or 9 p.m., when you're not in the best of reflexes, no banking. No phone banking. If some phone comes to you and giving you some schemes, blah blah, no phone banking. Everything can be handled next day. There is a next day there. So when you have follow this, it's simple. Now I should discuss fraud with Kejriwal, Arvind Kejriwal's daughter just faced. OLX based frauds. OLX, Quicker, all these second-hand sellers, this betting based sites, or this old things seller, all these websites will have so many fraudsters. What they do is they will, because investment is very less, they will put a photograph and you are actually buying a photograph or selling a photograph. So they loot both the people. Either you are buying and you are looking for a cheaper product. You come to OLX for buying a cheaper product. I'm giving you what is the photograph and showing you a nice new camera. Suppose you want to buy a DSLR. You see that photograph, that's a bet. You are lured in. And to increase that bet, the price is almost half, 30%, 40% of the original price. Once you think why this is so cheap, but then you get lured by his chats, what he does on OLX or Quicker. And what happens next is you pay the money, which is 30%, 40% of the amount, and you keep expecting the product is going to come to you. Neither the product comes nor the money comes. This is when you're buying. Same can happen when you're selling a product. So when you are selling a product, what happens is they send you a UPI based pre-approved link. So instead, and when you're selling a product, you should receive the money. But what happens is the link which is sent to you is of sending a money. He has entered the amount that 25,000. You are clicking send and putting the PIN number, and the money is transferred to him. This same thing happened with Arvind Kejriwal's daughter, and this keeps happening with many people. Now, why does this thing happens? Why? When we did research, we came to know first time UPI digital wallet users, they are not aware of the screens which come very fast on the screen. On your small mobile phone, screens do come faster. Second, majority of the time it's in English. It is not your first language. Hindi, Marathi, Gujarati, whatever vernacular, they are not in vernacular languages. Third, they don't write common English language. They like proceed. Proceed means you are giving, key to pay to that person. So English is also not very appealing. Instead of writing one word, they could have written, now your money is being paid and the balance would be this, something like this. So never a person is made aware in this digital wallet scenario specifically, and very less awareness. So in the speed of UPI, you tend to lose money. So if the speed is not favoring you, never ever use UPI. I mean, you should use UPI, but if you are not confident about the speed in the transaction, don't do that transaction or you will lose the money. So always remember pointers which I'm giving you to avoid falling prey to this frauds. I'm going to come back about legal remedies, but legal remedies is the last thing, and this is India, my dear friends. Listeners, this is India. Legal recourse is there, but to get justice in India, it takes time. So we'll talk about legal recourse with examples. I'll talk about now. Let me give you one more way in which phishing happens. Phishing happens via phone. Majority of the time, it happens via SMS, and second biggest is via phone, that is phishing. Someone will call you and will confidently talk to you as if they are from bank. They will give you certain details, simple details, like your banking account number ends with your name is this and you stay at this place. I get clients fighting over the phone saying how that person was knowing where I stay, what is my last number of mobile phone. Now that is because yours and mine's every single data is leaked in the market. Your credit card details, where you stay, your phone, even majority of yours Aadhaar numbers is leaked. You have to limit it. Privacy is a myth in India as I speak because we don't have any law. Honorable Supreme Court holding this as our fundamental right is good thing. But where is the law and implementation of law to protect it? It will take at least a decade or 2 decades, take my point, for Indians to be aware of being what is privacy and what are the rights under privacy. I'm telling you from my experience in my 25 years of in the industry, the IT Act 2000 has finished 20 years last month. 20 years it has finished, and yet there is awareness about the cyber law or the IT Act 2000 is not up to mark. In 20 years, we couldn't get this IT Act where it applies to us all the time because we use mobile phones. Just imagine privacy, So in Indian context, to understand privacy and to get the hang of privacy is going to take time. So coming back to don't try and put your mindset in why my data is leaked. That's a different point of fight. Reality is data is leaked. Yours and mine's data is leaked in the market. And using that data, we are getting phishing attacks on us. And mind it, this phishing and phishing attacks is a huge industry in itself. The malware which is implanted on your mobile phone via phishing or smishing, please mind it, this malware is purchased from the market, from the dark net, and this malware is even serviced by the seller. The seller actually gives service after selling this malware. Imagine that kind of simplicity it is. You have to just buy the malware and then you can start your phishing business. There are call centers in Delhi NCR region which employ 1,200 people, which whole day only do this. They keep calling, and it is like I send 1,000 emails or I make 1,000 calls, and if I get 10-20 people as victims and I get lakhs of rupees out of it, my day is done, because my investment is only those people, human. So with this, what comes to rise is about the law and order situation. Isn't police doing enough to curb this? No. Jamtara is existing from years together now. I'm looking to it at least from 9 to 10 years. Why it couldn't be closed? That's a question. Why even mobile operators are giving SIM cards to these fraudsters when they can clearly monitor that so much amount of calls from a place like Jamtara is been made to Mumbai, financial capital of Mumbai? What kind of business you have? Why banks are not taking action when so many mule accounts have been operated in branches of Jamtara? So all these questions are of prime importance, where police, it's not only the state police, but the Ministry of Home Affairs, in concerted effort with various states, has to come into play and destroy these call centers which are looting unsuspected Indian phishing victims. And people are losing hard-earned money, trust in the system, trust in the digital India, and getting depressed, harassed because they lose their hard-earned money. Some lose money saved for marriages of their daughters, some lose retirement money. So government has to come in action, and we don't see so much amount of action being happening. And when does the deterrence occurs? Deterrence occurs only when you put the scamsters in jail, punish them with exemplary punishment, and make an example of it. That is not happening. These people are getting bail. They leave the jurisdiction of the police station where they get bail. They go to the adjacent jurisdiction and commit same amount of fraud. They have developed this skill set of looting the people. I have talked to many, because I'm a defense lawyer. We always get clients from both the sides. I get victims. Majority of the time I try and help victims, but we even have clients who are actually accused. So when we talk to accused, we see that they don't have any remorse for what they're doing. We try to talk them out of not doing these things, because you never know what is happening. Someone is asking, like, what is the clue to identify all this? The clue is simple, when the phone number itself is the clue. No bank is going to call you from mobile number. No bank is going to call you on odd hours. These are clues. No bank is going to ask you your PIN numbers. Now they have developed a very high skill rate of social engineering. They will call you and say, your account is looking to be hacked. I need to check it. So now, because this hacking word is so much that you immediately get fearful. Okay, the bank is calling because account is hacked. Bank is not going to call you if your account is hacked. Bank has a simple instruction. If the account is hacked, they'll block it. And then they will, you will get a message that your account is blocked for unsuspicious account. But this is also rarely done. That's a different story altogether. Banks helping victims. That's the worst scenario. Banks don't help victims. Victims are often left high and dry. In spite of RBI having clear-cut rules on fraud, online fraud, that banks should compensate to the victims, banks rarely care. Banks will be more on the side of blaming you, how you are wrong, how grossly negligent you were, how you are by yourself you have given the data. So they will try to blame you, paint you wrong, and create more agony and more frustration after the incident which happened on you. So all the system itself is not being developed to handle this humanly, because this is a crime committed on humanity. Humanly, the crime is not handled. Hence, there is so much amount of stress and tension all the time. Now, let's talk about, since it's been half an hour, I thought I'll talk about what is the scenario of phishing in a country like India. Now, I also, whether want to comfort you or give you the international picture, internationally also there are victims of phishing. Even advanced countries like UK and US, phishing happens. In fact, I would say, I would proudly say, in India, there is more awareness about such kind of frauds. Now, you would have seen so many audio recording coming on your WhatsApp where people are actually challenging these people, challenging these phishing call center people. They reverse lure them and try to extract and info what they have. There have been so many cases like this. But in US and UK, it's a very difficult situation even there. But insurance policies over there are better. They get covered after the fraud. In India, this is also an issue. No one protects you when you are left high and dry on it. The loss is burnt by you. That's the problem. Loss is covered by insurance companies in US. on UK or European countries. That's the better point out there. So you also have, yes, UK has a mechanism to report fraud. India also has a mechanism to report fraud. Now let us go there. So my half an hour, I told you about this. Now let us talk majorly about when the crime happens, what next, what to do. Now let's go one by one. What is central government doing? Central government has bought in what is called as, central government means the MHA, Ministry of Home Affairs, have bought in what is called as cybercrime.gov.in. I repeat for the brevity, cybercrime.gov.in. This is a website where you can go and report about such crimes. Cybercrime, yeah, that's what's shown on the screen. So this website is an effort of MHA, Ministry of Home Affairs. What it does, now let me be very frank on this. This is a forwarding mechanism. If you read the website very carefully, it talks about your grievance has been reported. It is not filing a police complaint. It is not filing an FIR. It is not supported by CRPC, that is criminal code. It is not supported by any law. It is just an effort. This website forwards your complaint to the police station which you choose. I repeat, to the police station which you choose, or it also has capability of determining what is your jurisdiction based on your address. So your address is important, and your mobile number is important because it takes your mobile number and gives you an OTP. So there is some confirmatory things over there, and it just forwards the message to the nearest police station. Nearest police station, on their own whims and fancies, will actually go through it, may allocate an officer to it, may not allocate an officer to it, and by looking at it, they can close the complaint also, or they may keep the complaint open and they may call you for statement, and that can proceed to an FIR. So it is not, I don't want to disengage you. It is a good effort by Government of India. At least you have something online, first responder kind of thing, where you can add on to this. On this website, you go to the other crimes, because there are two distinct crimes. One on crime on women and girl child, and other is this. So go on the other types of cyber crimes and report for phishing. It has a column to report for phishing. So this is the effort of Ministry of Home Affairs from Government of India. There is a cybercrime framework. Government of India is taking this seriously. There is a cybercrime framework being made. Now there is an effort. If you go to Ministry of Home Affairs website, they are also making cybercrime volunteers, who will train, who will support, who will report such kind of sites, etc. So effort is being made there, but it is in tandem with state government. Please note, central government can't do much when it comes to law and order. I'm not taking their side. I'm just making you clear what is the position of law. Position of law says law and order is the responsibility of state government. So they have to look into it. So only few things only the central government can look into. So you have this option of cybercrime.gov.in. Then I would like to mention that you have option of, as I told you, reportphishing.in. I repeat, reportphishing.in. This is a website where it's very simple website. You can report the link where you can, it's on the website on the screen. You can report phishing links, and report phishing incidents, report websites from where the phishing is happening, or lookalike website. So they go after the website and try to take it down, while talking to ISPs and all, this fraud websites. Efforts are being made, not up to the amount of frauds are very high. So these efforts are very limited. Now, so the moment you have phishing attack and you lose some money from the bank, what are the steps? Number one, you would write down a complaint what happens. Many people don't do it. They just run around by repeating their story. Don't do that. Write down the complaint in English, Hindi, Marathi, Gujarati, whatever your language is. Make 2-3 copies of it. Use carbon or take printouts, whatever you're comfortable at. One copy goes to the bank. Either you give a copy to the bank and take acknowledgement, or there is a form which is called dispute form. Fill in the dispute form with the bank. Do that. Second, go to the nearest police station. Don't keep finding where is cybercrime cell and where is cybercrime police station. All that has been Purana. You can go to the nearest police station. You have cybercrime officers there. You have an officer dedicated to do all this. Give one copy of the complaint to him. If the amount is big, you feel big fraud has happened, you want an FIR, insist on getting FIR. Or you have taken 2 copies, on 1 copy take acknowledgement. So now you have 2 acknowledgements, one from police, one from the bank. So this is the first aid thing which you need to do always. And call up the bank, intimate them on the call center. So the call center person makes relative notes to your account. And if you have to block it, block the account. Once you do this, if you feel the money is transferred to some account, mule accounts, you can rush to the branch if it is not a holiday and sit on the branch manager's head. I repeat, sit on the branch manager's head. So he calls up the bank where the money has gone and he tells them to freeze the account. See, your account where money is taken from your account and transferred to the mule account. Mule means that's a compromised account. Money is there. It can't be removed immediately. So you come to know now, rush to the bank, tell them to freeze that account. Moment the account is freeze there, you have greater chances of getting the money back. That freezed money can be recovered via filing a police complaint and police tells them to return the money, or if an FIR is filed, you can file a return of property application with the court of the proper jurisdiction and get that freezed money back to your account. It's possible. I have got lakhs, crores of rupees rather by now by getting the freezed money back, and I've got it from India. I got it from abroad too, many accounts, because we are handling big cases. So when you do this, you get that money to your account back. So this is once the incident happens, follow these steps without running helter-skelter, without calling somebody who is of high repute and some thinking of Vashila and all that stuff. That doesn't work. Steps are very important. Do it fast. Will police help you? If an FIR is taken, if you have an officer serious enough who likes his job well, he can help you. He can freeze the account, he can call people, he can spread the word that this account was under fraud, this is the modus operandi, because fraudsters do not defraud only you. They are defrauding people across jurisdictions. So, when you have different police stations combining together, there may be this fraudster may get caught somewhere in other state, and there are chances you may get money back. Chances, I'm saying. When he's caught, money is recovered, but that may take months and years. So, because months and years, patience is important. Now, people ask me that whether there's a RBI has a service which is called Banking Ombudsman Service. Banking ombudsman service will only handle your grievance when you feel that bank is in gross negligence of RBI rules and you have evidences for that. When you have evidences for that, only then the ombudsman can help you. Very rare cases ombudsman has helped victims, but the service is free. It's online. You can go to the RBI's website. There's an ombudsman option over there, and from there you can use it. So sometimes, very rare in what do you call, very rare percentages time ombudsman also help. But that's a forum which you should use, and that's online. So you really can use that. Next, now you are left with two options. Now I am going towards the court part of it, or the legal remedy part of it. One is based on, I repeat, based on your unique case. See, every case which I normally see are majority of the time unique. Even if you say it is SIM swap fraud, even in SIM swap fraud, the facts of the cases drastically change. I have got different orders in a same SIM swap fraud based on different facts where different parties have been made liable to pay compensation to the victims. So I'm telling you from complete position of strength with my complete experience on this. So now I have two options here. One is I can file a consumer complaint. Consumer courts have become active. Consumer courts are also online. Based on how much money you have lost, you can go to the district forum or the state forum or the national commission. Based on that, for that, or you can refer to the websites and jurisdictions, because they also have come up with very good orders where they have held banks responsible to pay money. But it depends on what is the fact of your case. I repeat. So based on the fact, you can decide which forum you want to go, based on completely on the facts. Now, or secondly, what you can do is, second, where majority of the time I have got justice. I'm saying majority of the time because as a lawyer we are not allowed to promise our clients and not give false beliefs. I never do that. There is a authority, or rather court, or adjudicating officer. I repeat, he's called an adjudicating officer under the IT Act, section 46 of the IT Act. I personally had started filing cases of phishing and banking frauds with him. I practically started this, making him hear these cases. In fact, banks and mobile operators have multiple times challenged that he doesn't have jurisdiction to do it. But I have won it successfully. I feel proud for that, with him or with the adjudicating officer, and even with the TDSAT. TDSAT is the appellate body, I'll come to it. So you can file such cases with the adjudicating officer. Now, who is the adjudicating officer? I'm taking an example of state of Maharashtra. In state of Maharashtra, adjudicating officer is the principal IT secretary of the state. I repeat, principal IT, information technology secretary of the state. He is having an additional charge of adjudicating officer. He will give you 2 to 3 hearings. Based on the hearings and the documents exchanged, he passes an order. That is adjudicating officer. So he is normally sits in the Mantralaya. I have gone across 4-5 states, and only those states are active. In almost 29 states, 4-5 states are only having adjudicating officer. In some states, the IT secretary doesn't know that he is an adjudicating officer. That bad shape that adjudication thing is. But in Maharashtra, it is working. But no, sometimes it works. It depends upon the officer who takes the charge. Sometimes a good officer will keep cases faster. Sometimes it is stuck for years. So, adjudicating officer will pass an order for compensation and damages to be paid by bank or the phone if it is SIM card fraud or whoever the parties are, we make party to. And based on the facts of the case, the compensation is awarded. Now, often banks appeal, banks will spend lakhs of rupees on their lawyers and law firms. They'll employ best of law firms, but they would not want to give money to poor victims. That's the what do you call sad stage here in banking when it comes to online frauds, and that's pitiful situation, I would say. They appeal. The appeal from adjudicating officer goes to the TDSAT, that is Telecom Dispute Arbitration Tribunal. That's in Delhi. I have won personally cases even there. TDSAT is very sensitive tribunal. As of now, as of I speak, the bench over there is good. It appreciates the victim's point of view, and we have won the appeals even there. And then the last remedy is obviously from TDSAT, it goes to the High Court. But in telecom cases, it goes from TDSAT to Supreme Court because of the problem in IT Act. IT Act has so many errors. So there's a good differentiation altogether. So that may get fixed when the IT Act is amended. So this is the majority of the time remedy. The best remedy could have been is having online dispute resolution, that is ODR mechanism by all banks. ODR is let the bank have an arbitrator listening to such cases. If bank has little amount of problem also, that money can be given and the aggrieved victim can be saved from heartburn going around places when it comes to phishing frauds. So I think, Yogesh, I'll take
Yes,
questions now, and I think I have sum up.
yes, 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 you had covered almost all the issues in this subject, and that was fantastic explanation you had provided. So there are some questions if we can ask the people.
Uh, yeah, yes,
Basic,
sir. Before that, ma'am
yeah,
wanted to ask a question. I think ma'am is waiting in line for a while now.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
yes, ma'am.
Okay, I'm taking the privilege of asking the first question. Sorry to muscle in, but thank you for a really wonderful presentation and the simplicity. Again, please accept our deepest condolences and thank you so much for making it for this session. In spite of it, we really appreciate it. I just wanted to ask you, our conversation began with the fraud the phishing attack, which Nidhi Razdan said that she suffered, right? So I was just wondering, could you sort of explain that? Because what you have said and what we seem to know all this time is phishing and wishing is like a mass attack. As you said, they send out thousands of mails, make thousands of calls, and even if they get 1% or 10%, that's good enough. So this one, I mean, when you say that you offered someone a job in a foreign university, it seems so targeted and so elaborate. And apparently there is a name for that and it happens. Is that correct? Could you throw some light on it? Because, that is really scary.
Yeah, good. Good you ask, Suchita. It's called spear phishing. It's targeted one-to-one phishing where the individual person gets phished. He's been monitored, his data is gathered from various social websites, his personality has been made, and then when whatever he needs is been fed to him. Again, the bet is there, everything is same in phishing. There is a bet. The bet here was a job with Howard, because she had visited some seminar where this Howard thing was happening. That came to know. That means they have very well, with artificial intelligence also, they can guess what is her choices. She may have served one day before on Harvard website, or she may have talked to her colleagues about, it could be great if I start getting sessions in Harvard or something. All her wishes. That wishes got tapped. And what happens suddenly is, this is human psychology. The thing which you are seeing, see how this ad tech industry also works. It works like this. If you and me are talking about buying an LCD TV, of 60 inches, I talk to you and immediately I open my Gmail or Amazon and I get an ad showing 50% discount on 16-inch TV. What is my immediate response? I'll buy. I in fact think, what a luck. God knows what I want. I start going very supernatural. Like, this is God with what wants and all that. So same thing happens when spear phishing is also done. Spear phishing is done with complete personality profile being made. It is never lottery. Lottery based are bot based things. Where a lot of things have been sent and by chance. But then this bot based things also, once the person clicks on it, then it is one-to-one. It is not automated thing, because the one-to-one may, the opposite person is also completely trained to manipulate your psyche, to manipulate you, your thoughts, and then get money out of it. So it is again one-to-one. Only the when you're doing phishing, that is mass phishing. You put that net into it, and whatever fish comes in, it's then one-to-one with the fish. So it is, with Nidhi also it happened so that she was spearfished completely. She was, all videos and everything was given. Now what is pending there is 100%. I can tell you with all my experiences, money was exchanged. What money was exchanged? How much was exchanged? Because they built. See why money? I'm not saying talking from that it is a money game. It may have been character assassination game. But when I take money, it increases the confidence in the transaction also. Okay, that's the rule of such spear phishing related things. So there has to be give and take of something. So some part, in kind, in whatever, something may have happened. Okay, which is we really don't know about it. Okay, and that only can come to know via bank history or something of that sort. So things happen. And now coming back to the example, because this Bhima Koregaon thing. So Bhima Koregaon thing also, they were using. See, as I spoke in my session, that this phishing related malware, where here in this case Netwire was used. If you type Netwire malware on Google, you will see that you get Netwire openly in darknet. मिल जाता है आपको आसानी से Netwire. Netwire is the most simplest malware which you can buy from darknet, and it is supported. मैंने ये भी बोला in my, it is supported after sales services में. So you send it, and your laptop becomes my slave, literal slave, and then whatever you do, comes back to me. I forget that I had encountered, there are companies in India which sell this by making a software out of it, and they do it with MLM also. I had a person coming to me and he was selling this, and he sells it via MLM. Can you imagine that he sells it that you put this software on your employee's computer and then you can observe all the employees from your home and all that. There's an MLM for it. Just imagine, he told me all this, and then he wanted to take my photograph also. He actually took my photograph rather, and then when later I came to know that he's using my photograph to show this MLM bakras that it's completely legal because my photograph is with him. So they got very dark extent to. So your mobile phone, your laptop, and your computer. जैसा दिवाली में हम लोग साफ सफाई करता है, वैसा at least in a month or in a fortnight, complete scratch fully साफ कर देने का, because no software is going to, even malware bytes, there are softwares called malware bytes. You have Clean My Mac, these are softwares, renowned softwares. Even they sometimes don't find malware which has just been invented, just been changed. Because there is a website called virustotal.com where you can actually go and test your malware, whether antivirus are detecting your malware. So if it doesn't detect, that means you have a life to fool around people. So it's complete mechanism, it's a complete business business model. It's not common man or some random hackers game. It's a complete business which gets traded.
Thank you.
Yeah, Advocate Mali, I have one question. It's regarding the messages that Jeff Bezos has received on his WhatsApp, and some software was installed on his mobile, and his mobile was tracked by. So they say that it's Saudi. Saudi were doing all these things. But here, some people are also asking the same question. They get a SMS, and there is a link, and sometimes the online shopping portal they send the link. Please give us feedback. So how do people identify whether it is a fraud link or whether how they can protect themselves?
Okay, good question. Like, see, because you cannot identify, it's so look-alike. That's why you fall prey to it, right? So, how will you identify? You can still identify it, because then you have to read it very carefully, every word out of it. Or you have to go to another computer, check the official website, and then check the address. If the address is wrong, but that, who has that time? The time factor plays a greater role. So, a determined hacker, nobody can stop. If I have planned it, it's just impossible. Many a times it happens to me also. I click and then I recall, what did I click? But it's gone. Then you have to do all your reverse engineering and clean it. He has already come into mind. See, that's why I give this simple tips, that your mobile phone should have sticker on your front camera, or your laptop should have front sticker on your front camera. It's very simple. The orange color ka sticker milta hai, which you apply on your files. So you can apply on there. It does face recognition karta hai, in spite of the sticker. So your camera is not compromised. Your mobile is compromised. Camera is compromised, but you can't see anything. I am vocal, so much vocal. I have written letters. I have expressed my thought that you should have a button on your mobile phone which switches off your microphone. Very important, because Google has what is called as ambient noise technology. Now, what is ambient noise technology? It keeps listening what is happening around you. When you have Google app in you, it keeps listening. You can try this. You talk with your husband, your wife, your friends about a thing. Google will start showing you those ads. Ad tech industry will capture that. So that is ambient noise technology. It captures. Can't do anything. They are very privacy is a myth. In India, God bless us. God bless our privacy. So there was a question about SIM swap fraud. The lady somebody has asked. See, I have elaborate videos about SIM swap fraud and various news channels, and my blog has a lot of information about SIM swap fraud. What is SIM swap fraud? How to protect it? What could be a possible solution a country can implement? वो भी मैंने लिखा है with all my experiences. And there are videos and there is a text. So please read my blog, cyberlawconsulting.blogspot.com. So that's my blog, or you can type Prashant Mali blog, you'll get it. So read that, you'll get more details on SIM swap fraud. Yeah.
Sir, with this recent example of WhatsApp changing their privacy policy, and then they will allowing Facebook to take the data, share the data. So many people are asking the questions, if this is the case, then how do we protect our data? Is there any way, or we just need to log out from the platform? Is that the last solution?
So, when WhatsApp privacy case was happening, I was there across all the television, I think almost all national television, airing my views. There's also a video made by me comparing WhatsApp, Telegram, and Signal. What is the best? In spite of doing that video, in spite of I installing Signal on my mobile, I am also still continuing to use WhatsApp, because too many of people are there on the WhatsApp, and things on WhatsApp are happening still. People have not moved to Signal as we felt. I'm on Signal too, but most we are transacting on WhatsApp. It's the question of habit. Is your data going 100%? Is your data going to this big companies 100%? How it would stop the day we have PDPA, Personal Data Protection Act of India. The moment we have Personal Data Protection Act of India, which has exemplary fines and jail term, which GDPR even doesn't have. That time they will come to the term. They have done all possible things to delay this law. If this law isn't working, from I know is from 2006. Somewhere or other I am associated with this privacy related law, but it's never coming. I thought when Justice Sri Krishna Committee was formed, the law will come. But then they again went to Parliamentary Select Committee. Now they have almost more than 80 changes been suggested. Now again it's hanging in limbo. So the moment we have this Personal Data Protection Act, I think we'll have good days. Someone was asking about Bindi. Bindi is, I was telling you about small black sticker, you put it on your front camera of your mobile phone or on your laptop or on your desktop front camera. Even Mark Zuckerberg puts black sticker on his desktop and laptop. So at least you and me can do that.
Arvind, I think there are some people who want to ask questions. Some has raised the hand.
Yeah, yes, sir. Yes, sir. Mr. Mahesh Koklaki has raised his hand. Mr. Mahesh, you'll have to be very precise and please keep your question very simple. I'm going to unmute you. Please share your question.
Related to proactive measures by the banks, there are other softwares, like there are net guardians, which can insist a end user, a message will come. Like we have one recent ad coming up where a gentleman clicks no button for it's a Airtel ad. So why can't the banks take these kind of proactive measures? That's my question. Thank you.
I'm with you, Mahesh. I'm completely with you. Bank should take so many proactive measures. Now, where is the problem? Problem is banks are blind followers of RBI. If RBI says, banks will do anything to comply with RBI. And don't you think that banks are aware about this softwares like Net Guardian and anti-phishing softwares, and they're all aware? But when it comes to compliance, they only follow one father, that is RBI. If RBI says, they'll do it. RBI has not said it, and because it amounts to investment, spending money, they'll not do it. It's about the attitude of helping the banking customers, which I think in India many times is missing.
We one question from a very senior activist, Haridam Chaudhary. He just want to know whether this phishing, wishing, and all these personal losses, whether all these things can be covered by the insurance companies. Is there any insurance cover for this?
Yeah, good question. Yes, this can be covered very much. There are certain off-the-shelf cyber insurance policies from I think 3-4 insurance companies. If you type cyber insurance on Google, I think you will get such kind of policies which will insure you against ransomware, will insure you against such kind of incidents. So you will definitely get insurance. Nowadays, the banks are also selling credit cards with small amount of insurance coverage. Even debit cards with small amount of insurance coverage. If you lose around 50,000, 1 lakh, I don't know. But some debit cards you can, so these are little different debit cards than the debit card which banks gives you for free. Nowadays, anyways, nothing is free. Some small more amount is taken and you get insurance for your debit card.
Arvind,
yes, sir. There is another question. This was in connection with phishing, which you had shared. So the question is, what is the difference between phishing and hacking a computer? I mean, how do these two things differ?
Okay, very good question. Phishing and hacking of computer. See, in hacking, what happens is he gains an unauthorized access to your computer or your mobile phone. In phishing, normally there is, at the first instance, there is no unauthorized access to your computer. At the first instance, you click on a link. When you click on a link, you are inviting him to your computer. You invite him to your computer and then he accesses your computer. So hacking may or may not be followed by, phishing may or may not be followed by hacking. and hacking may be preceded by phishing. Both possibilities are there. Unauthorized access of your computer or mobile phone is hacking.
Uh,
Actually,
before
yeah, sorry to interrupt. Just one final question that we've also received. It's about ransom attacks, ransomware attacks, and all of these things. So if you could just shed a light on that for a minute, maybe.
Okay, so ransomware attacks is what similar. It's little different. Is you may again get a phishing link. It may start with phishing, and once you get a phishing link, you click on that link. Ransomware, that's a malware computer program with malicious intent, will come down to your computer, and what it does is it will encrypt the computer. What does it mean? It will make all the data look like gibberish, and when you try to access it, it will give you a warning saying your computer is encrypted. It will it's converted into cipher, looks gibberish, and you want to decrypt it. That means it has put a tala on it. If you want to unlock it, you need a decryption key, and for the decryption key you need to pay ransom, and that ransom you need to pay via Bitcoin or any cryptocurrency. And then they will give you the address of Bitcoin wallet where you have to pay the asked Bitcoin. If you pay the Bitcoin, they'll give you decryption key, then you can decrypt the computer. Now, my advice is never try to pay this money. Many a times, even the ransomware guy doesn't have the decryption key because they have encrypted at a such higher level of encryption key that they even don't have the decryption key, because the malware, this ransomware criminal guy may have got this malware from darknet where the supplier has not given him decryption key. Many a times they only get the one-way ransomware and the decryption is not received because they have to give certain money after using this ransomware to them, and then the decryption key is received. So you may get into the entanglement of all this. So be aware, but there is cyber insurance for ransomware. I know it for sure. Yeah. Thank you very much.
Okay, with this we come to the end of this fantastic session with Advocate Prashant Mali. Thanks, sir, once again, and please accept our condolences once again. Thank you very much, and good night to everybody.